It was 2023, and I was working inside my father's factory as he ran a little kitchen manufacturing business. And I was out there just drilling the holes inside the cabinets, just making these little kitchens, right? Which I found quite mundane and pretty boring, if I'm being honest. And I entered the dirty bathroom, which hasn't been cleaned in God knows how many years. And I take a look to my right and see myself in a reflection through this really dirty, stained, broken mirror. And I just stared at myself for a second. I'm looking so dirty. My clothes are stained. My hair is all messy. And the worst part of all is I just started feeling this profound sense of loneliness. And I started calling myself all these horrible names, like an ugly piece of shit who doesn't deserve anything. I hate you. You don't deserve life. Because only a few weeks prior to this, I was talking to this one girl from this app called Yubo. Yes, I abused the shit out of this app. But pretty much, this is an app. Think of Tinder, but for underage kids. Pretty much, you're swiping left and right to find people to make friends with, but we all know why we're on there, right? It's not for friends. It's to find girls, and people of under the age of 18 can use it as well. Oh my god. And I don't know how this happens, but I ended up matching with this girl that looked strikingly similar to Madison Beer. And I know a lot of you guys have probably heard this story before, but please bear with me, please. I just need to repeat it really quickly because there was a lot of details that I missed last time. So please bear with me because it's really important, alright? And this was around the time where I wanted to start getting better with speaking to girls because I grew up very socially isolated, right? All I did was just stay home. I didn't have any friends. No girls were into me. All girls thought I was weird. You get the gist. I was horrible with girls. And because of this, I had only one thing on my mind, and one thing only. And it was to get with as many girls as possible. It didn't matter what they looked like. It didn't matter if they were nice, it just didn't matter. I just wanted to start attracting girls. I just wanted to know what it was like because I was so tired of being that lonely kid who just stayed at home all day, who just played video games all day. I wanted to swing the pendulum the other way around, from being that lonely kid to now being, hopefully, a stud muffin that could reject any girl that came his way, who had too many girls to count. I wanted to become that man so that I could actually be this person who could reject girls, who wasn't hurt by girls anymore. Which is exactly why, for the past few years, I've been working ruthlessly on nothing else except for my appearance, because that's what everyone told me to do. And I made some pretty good improvements. And so this one day, when I matched with this seemingly perfect looking girl, let's just call her Madison, why not, right? When I matched with Madison, she had quite a few pictures of herself in her profile, obviously ones of her face, which looked, very, very suspicious. I thought she was fake because of how pretty she was. And bro, I just want you to imagine this, alright? What would you do if you matched with a girl that looked like Madison Beer? As a decent looking guy, I didn't personally think I was that good looking, even though I did improve my appearance quite a lot. I just thought I was an average looking guy. What would you do? How would you text her? Well, I'll tell you exactly what I thought, and it wasn't pretty. I said, hey. Yeah, I said that because I knew for a fact I wouldn't be able to attract this girl if I was being nice, if I was being myself. And I wasn't expecting a reply at all, but the worst part here is she replied. And she wasn't mad. She wasn't gonna report me. She replied with something playful, as if she liked it. And this shocked me. This shook my core because my master plan apparently worked. And so Madison and I start talking, right? And I'm treating her like absolute shit. I'm being so rude to this girl and like trying to act like an alpha male from, all the tips and tricks I got from the internet. And I'm calling this girl so many horrible things. I'm literally, you know, calling her ugly, calling her a bro. I was being so horrible to this girl. But here's the thing. Madison never once said she liked it. She never explicitly told me to keep being rude to her. In fact, she'd be rude back sometimes. But she kept on replying anyways. So I could tell that she was enjoying it. And I ended up saying this, "You're a for me, aren't you?" And she ended up replying with, "You wish." Which was probably one of the most like flirty and like playful replies that she could have hit me with. And after she said that, my ego just shot straight through the roof. I thought I was top shit after this. And just keep this in mind, I'm not like this. Like, if this is your first video you've watched of mine, or if you're a regular watcher, you know I'm a kind and gentle guy. At least I'd like to think I am. It's just that the way everyone has been telling me how to text girls and treat girls online, and the way I was brought up, just very lonely, isolated. All the girls that I did speak to, they would all eventually ghost me, without a doubt, even though if I was being, you know, nice. And I just kept on getting hurt by every girl that, you know, came my way. And so I had this resentment towards girls, especially pretty girls, especially the really pretty ones, because they didn't like me. And so me texting Madison, this really like on picture 10 out of 10 girl, and her replying back to me treating her like absolute shit, it kind of fulfilled a desire, a longing desire in my heart that I've had for a very long time. It felt like revenge. It felt like this was making me happy and fulfilled. But what I didn't expect was what was going to happen to me soon. Maybe like one day later, so tomorrow, I'm now sitting in my car in an empty parking lot after my university class ended, and I'm doing absolutely nothing, just chilling out in an empty parking lot all by myself. A lonely, lonely life. And so I take out my phone and I start texting Madison. And in my mind, I was gonna ask her to meet up with me, like today, and see if she was up for it. So I was kind of texting her back and forth for like 2 hours straight. So I was literally in my car for like 2 hours. And I eventually asked her, "Let's meet up?" ? And there was a lot of back and forth. I think she thought I was joking at one point, but then I was dead serious, right? And she was keen. And now it's like 6 or 7 p.m. and she told me she has a party that she has to go to at like, I don't know, 8 p.m. and she's down to chat to me for like 20 minutes. And so I instantly put the keys in the ignition, I start my car and I start driving. She's only like 5 to 10 minutes away because, you know, she lives in a little apartment nearby, right? And I'm driving there. Honestly, I couldn't even explain the emotions I was feeling because I was so unsure of what was about to happen. I was about to meet a girl that looks like an absolute model. It was a mix of nervousness, fear, excitement, uncertainty, just everything you could imagine. I was feeling that at that moment. And so I arrive at her apartment. I park outside, like really hilly, really like downslope, right? It was really annoying to find this parking. But anyways, I park on the side of the road and I start waiting for her. And while I'm waiting for her, I'm just like, oh shit, okay, it's time to stop, you know, spraying some perfume all around the car just for it to smell good. I think I use like an Ariana Grande perfume. Don't ask me why I have that. What, it smells good, all right? And like 5 minutes go by, right? And I'm just waiting for her, so nervous. And I ended up like looking behind me at one point, and you know, she says she's coming out, and I see this really tall girl walking towards the car, like 6 foot tall. Like she's taller than me, bro. And it's her. And I'm acting all like cool and shit, pretending like I didn't see her, just like. And she comes up and she rocks up right beside me, and she gets in my car. she practically just got inside a stranger's car that she barely even knows, that treated her like absolute shit. Interesting. But I didn't care, because this girl was beautiful. Like, absolutely gorgeous. Obviously, not like Madison beer, like come on now. But, you know, good enough, right? And now, from the way I was texting her this entire time, she definitely probably expected me to treat her relatively the same way, but I didn't, because deep down I wasn't that person. And so after we got the initial introductions out the way, I started acting really like myself. Goofy, silly, slightly feminine, you know, not in a bad way, but I'm just like super touchy and just super energetic and just kind of like how I'm talking to you right now. Obviously a more energetic version of this, but imagine if I just texted you like an absolute dickhead, but I'm treating you like this in person. It's completely different. And 99% of the reason why was because this was my true self. I was never this alpha male type of person, guy that I portrayed on text. This was my true self, and it's a lot harder to fake it on in real life than on text. I wasn't too sure if she got that full impression that I was completely different to my text just yet, but see, she was still interested in me, right? So that was all good. But me, well, I fell head over heels for this girl already. You know me, because I had no other girls talking to me at the time. And so if there was any girl that showed any amount of remote interest in me, I'd pretty much fall in love. And also, I was heavily blinded by her sheer beauty. And guess what? We somehow even made plans to go and watch the new Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Yeah, Across the Spider-Verse, right? This was hype. This was so incredibly hype. I drove back home the world's most happiest man that night. But what I didn't realize was just how big of a mistake I truly made. And so the day comes, and I pick up Madison from her place, and we drive to the mall, the nearest mall where they had like a cinema, right? So we could watch the movie. And so now we're just walking around the mall, you know, we get drinks, the vibes were good, and I was still being myself. Silly, goofy, you know, pretending like I didn't meet this girl in the most disgusting way possible by just texting her like an absolute dickhead, but it's fine. It's fine. It was going great because she seemed interested in me. You know, the banter was decent. It was cool. It was funny. She was super touchy with me as well. Like, she would touch me a lot when she talked to me. I think physical touch was her thing, and so was mine. So it was going really good, man. I remember at one point, this was hilarious, right? But we're like sipping on our drinks, and we're like sitting on the bench, and there's benches all across from each other. And there was this, like, I didn't see them, right? But I'm facing Madison, and she just keeps on looking like across my shoulder behind me. And apparently there was like an Indian couple behind me just staring at us. I don't know, like staring at me and staring at her, which was kind of funny. And we kind of like, she made a joke out of it. I was like, is that your uncle? And then like, why is he staring at us? That was just so funny. I don't even know why they were staring at us, to be honest. It's probably because I was like, you know, an Indian guy with a white girl, whatever. I don't fucking know. But that was funny nonetheless. And a little bit of time passes, and at this point, right, she's pretty much got the full impression that I'm just a nice guy, right? Pretty much completely different from what I portrayed on text. And so she asked me, why did you text me like that? And also she asked me, why are you meeting up with strangers online? And me, well, I was like, oh my God, oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have texted you like that. Yeah, that was my bad. I don't know why I texted you. Pretty much I said the most insecure thing possible, and just like, oh, I don't know. But even though I should have asked her why she met up with the guy who treated her like shit, but I didn't ask that because I was scared of. I'll be honest with you, bro. I was scared that she would leave me. I was afraid that I'd lose Madison or make her feel really bad because I was in such a scarce mindset. I was a little bit too thirsty, and when I gave that insecure reply, she was like, well, you know, it was fine, right? It was okay. Or so I thought. And maybe like an hour goes by, And now we're just sitting and chilling on the seats because the movie, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, is gonna start in 1 hour from now. And so we're just asking each other all these like interesting questions. You know, we start talking about religion, and then we started talking about relationships, right? And, you know, she asks me this, I ask her that. It was going pretty well. And then she asked me, how many relationships have I been in? And I answered truthfully, I said 0. I've never been in any. And I asked her the same thing, and she said she'd rather not say. She was really secretive about this topic for some reason, right? And every time she'd ask me a question, I'd answer with complete openness and truthfulness, right? But every time I asked her back, she just would be so secretive. And I'll be honest with you, bro, at that time, I didn't think much of it. Like, I was just happy talking with her. But then she ends up asking my body counts. And again, I was completely truthful. It was a low number. But again, she didn't want to answer back. How odd. And maybe like half an hour goes past. We're still just yapping. And right now, it's like half an hour before the movie starts. Holy shit. I was fantasizing in my mind. I didn't know what was going to happen. Was she planning on, you know, kissing me in the movie theater when the movie ended? Or maybe, oh god, no, I don't know how to think of that. But I was fantasizing about everything that would potentially happen in the next hour or so. I was getting really excited. And she seemed excited as well. Or so I thought. So Madison ends up getting a phone call on her phone, and that she needs to answer. And so she gets up and leaves for a few minutes to answer this call, right? And I'm just chilling, you know, not really worrying about anything. And, you know, she's been on call for like 4 or 5 minutes now. The movie's gonna start in 20-ish minutes. Getting a little bit, you know, I was like checking out, like, she good? And she ends up coming back, and she tells me that her mum made plans to have dinner with her tonight, and she can't watch the movie with me. And when I heard that, you know, I was putting on a chill exterior. I was acting chill, but on the inside, I got shattered. I got completely disheartened by that. I mean, we were both excited to watch this movie. It was about to start in 20 minutes. And so I instantly asked her, hey, so, I mean, can we watch it tomorrow instead? And she said, yeah. She was keen. Oh, phew. Looks like this girl's not gonna ghost me. Oh shit. Okay, we're good. I drove her back to her place, and then I drove back home. And I drive back home, kind of sad, but it was fine because we were gonna watch this movie tomorrow anyways. And I really, really like this girl. She's genuine. She's cool. She's a bit taller than me, but it's fine, right? Who cares? She's so pretty and just, she's perfect. It's gonna be cool. Tomorrow's gonna be sick. And so I got back home, I texted her, I'm home safe. Enjoy your dinner with your mom. She love-hearted it. Awesome. I waited for the next day, and she texted me, morning. So sorry. I can't do today. Family things. But keep warm. The weather looks cold. And this was heartbreaking for me. This fucking hurt. But it was okay. And so I texted her, oh, that's okay. Tell your family how much you love them. Let me know if you want to do next week, though. Stay safe. Love, heart. And I expected her to reply to that message, or at least give it a little love heart. Nothing. And then the next week happens, right? And I asked her to let me know if you want to do next week. And I got no text from her. And a few days later, so 9 days from the last text. Hey, have you seen the Spider-Man movie yet, Madison? Hey, Raul. Oh my gosh, I just saw it on Saturday. It was so good. Have you seen it? Bro, I couldn't even explain the feeling I got when I saw this text. I felt so horrible. Undesired. All the words you could imagine, I felt it. It wasn't even about the movie. It was the fact that she'd rather see it with someone else than me. To the point where she'd even bother telling me either. And that hurt so much. That I was just a leaf in the wind. What did I do? I should have said this. I shouldn't have said that. All of these thoughts were just playing in my head on repeat. I ended up texting her, oh, was it? I haven't seen it yet. It was the best. You definitely got to see it. I loved it. For sure. Just a quick break. If you are enjoying the journey, feel free to subscribe to the channel, as it really does help me a lot. And you can follow my Instagram as well if you want the daily insights, and just DM me as well. I will most likely reply. Alright? And back to the story. From her just ignoring one of my texts straight up, like the one where I told her to let me know next week, and obviously her not even telling me that she watched it, and she probably watched it with some other person as well. Obviously this all just told me that she wanted me gone. And so that's what brings us back to the original story of me just looking at myself in the dirty mirror and just feeling this profound sense of despair, loneliness, heartbreak, feeling ugly, feeling undesired, everything. I hated myself because I knew I only lost Madison because I was being myself. And this always has happened in the past. I always showed girls my true, authentic self, but it's always ended up like this. And so I just contemplated whether or not I should just continue treating all girls like absolute shit and treat every girl I ever talk to now horribly, because clearly that's what works, right? And all these hateful thoughts of not only myself, but also of Madison came into my mind. Like, why would she do that? Why would she not tell me? I'll be honest, bro. Was it really Madison's fault? I mean, let's be real here. I've kind of did this to myself. I mean, what was I expecting? I started texting this girl on this random app, and I texted her like a dickhead, yet she still met up with me, and yet I still expected her to be a woman of respect and morals that enjoyed being around my authentic self. You fucking idiot. What did you expect? No girl of respect would have met up with someone like that, right? But still, I couldn't shake off this feeling of just feeling worthless. Because this was one of the worst sense of rejection that I've ever felt in my life. And so I realized at that moment that a lot of my happiness came from how girls treated me or thought of me. You know, if the girl I was speaking to was happy, I was happy. If she left me, if she ghosted me, I'd be devastated. And I can pretty much guarantee you that every single girl that I have ever spoken to up until this point has never thought of me the same way. They never cared about me as much as I cared about them. And I just wanted to change that. Like, for fuck's sake, I was tired of not... I wasn't tired of getting rejected, but I was just so tired of feeling the way I did when I did get rejected. Like, feeling like a piece of shit. I was so tired of that. This entire time, they said working on your appearance is more than enough to attract a girl and be happy. And so I did that. But now, in this current moment, I'm feeling 5 times worse than I ever have in my life. I've been lied to, honestly. Your looks aren't everything. It can't be. How can it be? If I'm feeling this shit, how can it be? And I didn't realize this at the time, but what I actually needed to start doing now was start attracting the right type of girl into my life. Because the current lifestyle I was living and the way I was acting around these girls was only attracting girls I had no compatibility with. There was a very obvious incompatibility issue I had with the girls that I was speaking to. And this didn't happen instantly, but this one incident kind of, over the next few months, made me kind of ponder and think about the current trajectory that my life was headed in. And I looked outwards for once into other aspects of my life. I hated my job. I hated the work I did that my dad gave me. I hated the degree I was studying at university that my dad gave me. I had no social life. No genuine friendships. I couldn't even speak to my fucking family, for God's sakes. The only time I was ever happy was when a girl was speaking to me. I hated being on my own. I had no drive. I had no passion. The only thing I really enjoyed doing was going to the gym. It was sometimes playing some video games. And I just wondered why. Like, why does my life suck so much? And I just started pondering and reminiscing about a time where it wasn't like this. A time where I was like 11, 12 years old. And obviously at that age, I didn't need a girl's validation to be happy. But I was in school. I loved the school. I loved everything about my life. And I was genuinely really happy. I was a really happy kid. Obviously, I was a really shy kid, but I didn't need girls to be happy. But now, for some reason, it feels like I do. Everything just felt so worthless. It's like, why? What is the point of life even? I didn't see myself going anywhere in the next 5 years. However, bro, when I was 12 years old, I remember something vividly. Something I did that was very odd, that no other kid did. Can you guess what it was? Instead of coming home from school and playing video games, I did do that. But there was something else that I did, that I loved doing, that I had a natural inclination to do. I'll give you a few seconds. I was recording videos. I was in my room recording videos. I was 12 years old, making these dumb little stupid skits. Like funny, cringy skits. And they were so cringy, they were so bad. These were horrible. Like I remember one day I asked my mum to buy me like a witch hat and like a witch nose, so I could prop up and like dress up for the skit so I could record, because I was about to record like a video of my evil twin and me battling my evil twin, who was apparently a witch. It was so stupid, bro. I wish I could show you. But like a year later, I remember deleting every single video off the internet, and I really wish I didn't do that. But because I just did it from pure embarrassment. But if I had them right now, I would show you. But pretty much, even though I had the time, all the time in the world, to be playing video games and, doing other fun stuff, I would actually spend time making these skits, and they got no views. Keep in mind, 2, 3 views. But that didn't matter, because I loved doing it. I was naturally drawn to doing this. I was a very creative child. But then I moved schools. I moved towns to a completely different area, and that's when high school started. I pretty much lost all my friends from intermediate, all the teachers I loved. It was all gone, and I entered a new environment where everything just kind of mellowed down and just became so blank and gray after that point. And I just became so damn sad all the time, because in my classes, my new school, everyone was just, obviously studying the same thing. Nobody had any passion for anything. Nobody tried. Nobody had any drive. And so I became naturally like that as well. I lost all my drive, all my passion I had for these videos, and it was gone. All the creativity just got sucked out of me, it just felt like. And I even remember this one time where I was in art class in high school, right? I chose art because I guess some of my creativity still resided inside me, but I had this teacher called Mr. Clark, and I was up showing him my little painting piece, right? Because I wanted some feedback from Mr. Clark, the art teacher. And as Mr. Clark was, examining my little art piece, I asked Mr. Clark, "Sir, what should I do next?" Pretty much I was just asking him straight directions on what to do on a painting that was my painting. And he said something that has stuck with me till today. Manish, you're creative, aren't you? Figure it out. Can you guess what I said? Nah, no, not really, sir. I'm not that creative. Can you just tell me what to do? Come on, what the fuck? Imagine putting yourself down like that. And the worst part here was the fact that I genuinely believed that. I genuinely believed I was uncreative. I was unambitious. I believed that because the world told me I was. People around me, fuck me. And many unfulfilling years later is where I find myself today, wondering where that childhood inclination was gone. And this was the moment where I realized I needed to claim it back. And you might be asking yourself, I mean, what does this even have to do with girls? Yeah, how's this gonna help me attract more girls? Think about it, bro. What did I have? Nothing. I had nothing going for me. The work I was doing, the thing I was studying, it wasn't making me happy. It wasn't fulfilling me. I had no friends, no genuine bonds. I couldn't even fucking speak to my family properly because it was broken. So it's no wonder why girls were always at the top priority list in my life. It's no wonder why they always made me happy. It's because I had nothing. And so they were constantly just the best part of my life every time they did enter in. And I needed to change that. I needed to start worrying about something greater, something bigger, something more important than girls, more important than myself. Because I've never had a girlfriend before. And I've always just fantasized what it would be like to have one. You know, oh my gosh, she's gonna be perfect when I do get her. She's gonna be this height, my exact type. She's gotta love kids. She's gonna love my family. It's gonna be so good. We're gonna be snuggling in my pillows on the bed every single night, hugging each other, watching Netflix, bonding, having fun, eating together. I was creating this giant fantasy in my mind, expecting it to get fulfilled naturally. But the thing is, it wasn't going to be. That wasn't going to happen. It wasn't. Because my current life trajectory wasn't going to allow for that. My dreams of having a girl of my dreams wasn't going to happen. I needed to break that belief. Because there were other areas of my life that needed immediate attention, and my purpose is being one of those things. I needed a purposeful living. I needed to be a windbreaker to the wind that was perpetrating my life. And this is going to be different for you, right? We haven't lived the same lives exactly, right? But for me, my father was one of those things. Like, he put me into these degrees that I didn't want to do, made me work this job I really didn't like doing. And just doing these every day, it destroyed me on the inside. It destroyed me. Because it just, living your entire life doing something that isn't aligned with you just breaks you on the inside. And so the start of 2024, so the start of last year, I decided I was going to drop out of university without telling my dad and go and pursue my creative side. Again, this was the scariest decision of my life, genuinely, because I could have just stayed comfortable in this degree, right? I could have, but I knew this for a fact. This wasn't real comfort. It wasn't. If I was getting hurt every fucking day, bro, was this really real comfort? Like, I was genuinely so sick and tired of it, and I knew I wasn't going to stay here. And so I tried recalling my childhood inclinations, what I genuinely wanted to start trying here and there. It wasn't easy, bro. It was not a straightforward journey. I mean, I tried writing tweets on Twitter for a few months. That went okay, but it was like, what the fuck? I tried starting multiple online coaching businesses for fitness to try to make the money, right? But it wasn't fulfilling me. I even tried making these horrible, dumb, alpha male, Instagram reels. because, you know, for the clout, right? Because if I have more Instagram followers, surely more girls will like me. Let's actually watch some of these old reels just to see how embarrassing I was.
Stop complimenting her like a fucking man. Oh, you're so beautiful. That shit is gay as fuck.
Oh no.
Stop glorifying women. You're legit a pussy if you do. Worst part, women find it repulsive and disgusting. You'll eventually be one of those toys she gets tired.
That's crazy.
Stop texting her like a fucking simp. If you hide your feelings like you hide your taxes, she's gonna forget you. If you're desperate like SoundCloud rappers, you get placed.
Bro. Who were these videos even for? I was making such inauthentic content. I didn't even believe in what I was saying. And it just felt so bad because this wasn't what God put me on this earth to do. God gave me a platform and now I'm freaking using it to fucking call like guys simps. It made me feel horrible, bro, because it was so inauthentic and I don't know, bro, it makes me want to slap my younger self, like, honestly, but I know it was just a learning period, right? And bro, I could have the amount of hate comments I got, rightfully so, like telling me that I was, you know, I was a nobody. And honestly, it was warranted. Like, I kind of deserved to get persecuted there, but thankfully I came to grace, right? So, and none of these things really fulfilled me. You know, none of these things made me happy in any way. You know, several months of just repeating the same thing, going from one thing to another, not making any progress, bro. It didn't feel good at all, man. It just didn't feel good. None of this felt right. And I honestly had many thoughts of just giving up entirely, like genuinely, because I thought I'd made a massive mistake of dropping out and I thought I fucked up. However, eventually I came across YouTube again. It comes full circle, doesn't it? But it didn't start perfect, you know. It was rocky as well. My first videos were horrible. Again, I was acting like an alpha male and like making inauthentic kind of like looks maxing videos. Like it was okay, but it still felt like something was missing. You know, I was caring too much about the YouTube analytics and stuff. Like, I have to make this video in like this certain way with this editing style to capture the most attention, to make sure you guys are hooked on the video. And that just didn't sit right with me. And one day I decided I was gonna drop this inauthentic bullshit. I'm just gonna be my utter self, me, unapologetically me on camera, and I'm just gonna tell stories about my past and hoping that helps. And boom, I uploaded my first video, kind of like this one, but obviously not as refined, right? But still, it was kind of the same base. And I ended up getting a comment, right? A few comments saying how much my story that I told helped him. And this wasn't my inauthentic self helping this person. This was me. I was genuinely myself, and I helped this guy. And so, as soon as he commented that, it just felt like something clicked in my mind. Like this was something I was meant to do. You know, it was hard work, don't get me wrong. I had to script, record, edit all the videos still, but it was enjoyable. I actually enjoyed doing the work. I enjoyed every aspect of it. Even though I wasn't getting paid much, even though technically the amount of effort I was putting into these videos didn't give me back the same amount of, you know, it didn't matter. Because it gave me something else. It gave me something that money can't buy. Something priceless. It gave me purpose. It gave me a reason. It gave me a reason to wake up every day. It lit a fire in my eyes that I've never seen in myself ever in my life. And to other people, this feels like work, but to me, it just feels like play. And I got so enthralled in, you know, getting more subscribers and helping making these videos and just climbing higher and higher and higher, that I eventually got into the mindset of, I will do anything to get this. I'll sacrifice anything to get what I want. It didn't matter if I have to quit video games. It didn't matter if I have to wake up early before work to get it done. I will get it done. I will myself to get what I want. That's what I remember telling myself one day. And obviously I'm not gonna, but you can see the conviction I had. That conviction, it changes a man. It changed me. That's the conviction that you need. And guess what? I started this whole thing for this whole reason of attracting more girls into my life, right? But it stopped becoming about that. And it started becoming about something more. Because I started worrying about something greater than myself, finally. And I genuinely just enjoyed doing it. And it was benefiting the world as little as it is, as much as I can, right? And this is a pretty big time skip, but 1 year later, and we're at present day, so today. And we went from pretty much zero subscribers, all the way to 132K from today. And honestly, I can't even express the amount of gratitude I have for you. You've given me so much purpose to just wake up every single day. I just want to thank you genuinely for watching this far and sticking with me throughout these years. Thank you. And look, I'm not I don't know if you I don't know if you got the idea already, but I'm not a dating expert. I'm not like a dating guru or anything like that. I just tell personal stories, and it's only from my experiences and the way I kind of see things. So I'm not in any way a coach or anything like that, right? You guys can, what do I know? This channel is all about free thinking, right? I'm not trying to push anything onto you. It's never been like that, or it has been like that before, but I've changed quite a bit. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. But what I will say is throughout the years, right, I can safely tell you, bro, that I hate saying this, but the quality of girl that I'm now attracting into my life is a lot better than before. And I'm not just talking about looks. I'm talking about the entire package. Simply because, okay, first of all, I stopped being inauthentic. I stopped acting like someone else. But second of all, I actually have something to live for, something to fall back on. I'm not just a clueless man who's, going out and ready to get his heart broken. I'm actually a bit more of a man on a mission, if you want to say that. It was only because I had nothing to fall back on, which is why I was so reliant on girls to stay happy, the no purpose, no friends even, broken family. And it was only because I hated being myself, which is why I texted Madison the way I did. Because I knew that if I just act like someone who I'm not, maybe Madison might give me a chance, and unfortunately she did. And you can just see how much damage that caused me, right? It's never worth it. But once I fulfilled this void in my life, I'm just a lot happier in general now. Obviously, of course, I still have my down points, I'm still unhappy every now and then. Of course, I'm a human, right? But girls just aren't at the top of the list anymore. And here's the thing, right? I'm not telling you to become a YouTuber or that you have to devote your life to a cause that you don't even care about and sacrifice your time and energy, and you won't have time to do any fun things anymore. That's not what I'm saying at all. You have an innate calling within you that is unique to you, and it should feel natural to do this. You should be inclined to do that, and I can't point it out to you. I can't tell you what you were born to do, but I can guide you. It's something within you that you were put on this earth to do, and it's unique to you. What did you never get bored doing? What did you spend so many hours just researching about? What made you so happy that you did this thing without even expecting anything back. You never got any like money, no fulfillment, but you just loved doing this thing. That's the inclination that you need to go and find. And I know for a fact a lot of people are going to be like, I've got nothing. I've got no desires. I haven't got any passion, right? I'm just a boring guy. You know, it's funny because I thought the exact same thing for all of my life, pretty much. I remember when I was 10 years old or something, or 8, and my mom asked me what I wanted to be growing up. Can you guess what I said? A McDonald's worker, or a Burger King worker, something like that, right? I had zero ambition. I thought I had zero ambition, but that wasn't true. And I can guarantee it's not true for you either. It's just what the world has made you believe. And look, I'm not sure if I'll be doing this forever. You know, purpose, your goals, your ambition, it changes. Things fluctuate. So I can't say if, you know, helping people and making videos is going to be my purpose for life. But for now, it is. And by the way, I'd never quit my job with my dad to do this YouTube thing. In fact, I'm still working with him right now. This was all just on the side. So you have the time. Actually, no, it's not even about the time. Honestly, it's just about having something that you're passionate about, that you love, that you work hard towards, just so you actually have something to fall back to once things go to shit, which they inevitably always will. Once you find this and you have something higher to worry about, I can guarantee you from the bottom of my heart, you will not have a problem with attracting the right type of girl into your life anymore. You just won't. The girls that you truly desire, your dream girl, you won't have a problem with that anymore. You know why that is? It's because this newborn fire that's going to be lit in your eyes will bring out your true authentic self. But not only just your authentic self times 50. The best version of yourself that has ever been shown to the world, because you should not hide who you truly are. You shouldn't. Yes, we can be doing better. Yes, things can be always going better. Yes, we have work to do, but there is a spark inside you. There's a light inside you. There's a little child inside your heart that enjoys eating chips while watching his favorite show on Netflix, who enjoys, you know, saying some weird jokes, slightly offensive jokes with his friends and laughing, who enjoys being just a little bit weird sometimes. You have these unique things that are unique to you. That is you. That is your authentic self, and you should never hide that from the world. I don't care what the girl said to you. I don't care what your parents said to you. I don't care what the bully, I don't care. You should not hide your authentic self. Don't hide it. Only amplify it. Amplify your authentic self with purpose, with goals, with ambition. Be the version of you that your future self would be proud of, and that your past self would be scared of. In a good way, yeah? And again, this is all just my opinion. My genuine opinion. Feel free to disagree, but this is what I genuinely believe in. And I know a lot of people are going to clown on me right now and say, you still lost Madison though, even though you were acting like yourself. That's true, I did. But she wasn't the right girl. Yes, she was pretty. Yes, she was super just affectionate and touchy with me at first, and I thought she was so into me, and I thought I was so into her. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, Madison still met up with the guy who treated her like shit and got in their car like one day later after meeting them on text, pretty much a stranger. Do you really want a girl like that? Do you really want your future love to be known as a girl who did that? Look, once I actually started bringing out my true authentic personality, myself, amplified with my goals, my ambitions, my purpose, I probably didn't attract as many girls as I did before, because I'm kind of a weird guy. low-key. And that's okay, because I'm now attracting the right type of girl into my life. The actual good girl. The good girls, you know? I'm actually texting them like a normal human being. I'm not trying to put on a fake mask around them just to try to impress them like I'm top shit, because I'm not. And that's okay. Because this way girls will see the real me, like, straight away, instead of me just playing this character, this actor that I'll eventually inevitably break in the future. And also, bro, this might scare you a little bit, but just imagine the amount of girls that have completely overlooked you, the girls that were exactly your type, that you would have been perfect for. Imagine how many of them would have overlooked you, simply because you were acting like somebody who you're not. For me personally, that scares the fuck out of me, bro. Just the fact that I could have missed out on potential life partners simply because I wasn't acting myself. Like, for example, bro, imagine if I kept on this fake alpha male persona that I was doing on my YouTube channel, like I was doing at the start. First of all, I wouldn't have been fulfilled in the slightest because I was, you know, acting inauthentic. But second, the girls that would have watched my YouTube channel, that would have been compatible with my true authenticity, my true authentic self, would have been completely turned off by this fake persona that I was trying to put on, right? And I would have missed out on a lot of potential. You know, I'm not saying I'm using my YouTube channel as like a matchmaker to find girls. That's not what I'm saying at all. Chill, I'm just using this as an example, okay? And here's the thing, right? Everyone's gonna be like, this is the point where everyone's gonna be like, ugh, that's all bullshit. Your looks are everything. You know, girls don't care about your fucking purpose or your work. And look, that might be true to some extent, right? Of course, a lot of girls are gonna choose, like, you know, a white guy who's more attractive than I am. Of course, some girls aren't gonna give a shit about your purpose or your work. But I'll be honest with you, bro. If you're watching my videos, you don't want a girl like that. There's a lot of people online saying that if you only work on your looks, your money, and your status, you just work on these three and nothing else, then you'll be able to attract every single girl out there. I don't know, but if you ask me, like, I think there's a lot more to love. There's a lot more to having a genuine connection with a partner than just for this materialistic transactional reason. These people are literally telling you that if you're just a hardworking, you know, average looking guy who's making a decent income and salary, and then you have a guy who's more attractive than you come in and he's making more money than you, and then your girlfriend is gonna cheat on you with him. Isn't that just stupid? You know? Like, how can you reduce us to like this, just such primitive way of thinking? And this is not me in any way saying that those things are unimportant. Not in the slightest. I mean, I still work hard to make sure I look good every day. I still take pride in my appearance. I still work hard to get my finances up just so I can support the people around me who I care about. However, I think there's a lot of guys just working on the wrong things for the right reasons. There's so many of us who just want a loving, kind, beautiful girlfriend. But they're working on every single thing except for the one thing that matters, and it's you. Because you deserve more than that. I know you do. You've got so much potential for greatness. And I just want you to have this fire in your eyes that I have. And I just want you to be excited because it's possible. It's possible to get what you want in life. It is. I did it. I've made some decent progress, right? It's not crazy, but I did it. Why can't you? Again, I need to state this a million times, but I'm not in any way a coach, a dating guru. You know, I'm not. I still make so many mistakes, bro. It's crazy. Like I still end up somehow talking to the wrong girls. I still I still try to act like someone else just to impress them sometimes. I still fuck up. I'm a human. But I've always had the intentions of getting better, bit by bit by bit, every single day. And from a year from now, bro, just from a year, like I can safely say that I've improved a lot. And I'm now attracting the types of girls into my life that I was literally I was literally dreaming about a few years ago. The types of girls that are amazing in all regards. Gaining purpose, having goals, having a fire lit in your eyes as a young man should, whilst also embracing your true, authentic self, is, in my humble opinion, the only thing you need to start attracting the right type of girl. It's the only thing you need. You can attract your dream girl that you've dreamt of for your entire life. But I'll be honest again, girls are amazing, right? But this is a lot more than just about girls. This is about finding who you are. Because once you've done that, girls will just become an afterthought. And that's actually when you start attracting the right girls into your life. And always remember this. If you don't believe in yourself, believe in the fact that I believe in you. You have got this. I'm no one special, by the way. Nobody's special. Don't thank me for telling my story. Thank God for putting me in these situations so that I can deliver them to you. All glory to God. Don't forget to subscribe as well, please. Before I go, if you do want to DM me on Instagram or something, I try to get to as many as I can. It's getting repeatedly harder to do that, so I'm sorry if I don't get back to you. But yes, besides that, you know, please do subscribe and all those good things. Follow my Instagram. Those genuinely help me a lot. Like, genuinely. Thank you so much, alright? Have a good one.